Okay, we're gonna do a battle of bolt action here. It's a lot like Warhammer, Warhammer 40k. You play those two, you pick it up real quick. So we set up a battlefield. It'd be a bit busy for Warhammer, but looks typical for 40k. And then we picked out our two armies. Points are just like Warhammer or 40k. Calculate them up. These are kind of small armies. It's like 660 points. That's what these two are. I got a German one. Here's my commander, Panzer IV tank, and then 3 infantry squads. And just like Warhammer, where higher quality guys cost more, it's the same here. So I only got 5 units in my German army, but Ari here is gonna have like 7 in his American army. He's got a Stuart, which is more of a light tank. Panzer IV is beefier. And then there's his command group, his lieutenant with 2 guys following along, and then he's got 3 infantry squads that aren't armed as heavily as mine are. And then he's got a medium machine gun, 3 guys. Ari is still setting out his forces here. All my guys are set out, just like Warhammer or 40k. Right? He's setting out his. The big difference from Warhammer or 40k is how the turn goes. In Warhammer, you'd move all your guys, you'd move, shoot, combat, and then I'd move, shoot, combat, and we'd flip flop. In this game, what we do is for each unit you have an order dice. I have 5 units, so I have 5 order dice. Ari has 7 units, so he has 7 order dice. So the turn goes, we throw these all in a bag, and then as the turn goes on, we reach in the bag blindly, pull out a dice, and so if it's my dice, I get to move 1 unit. If it's his dice, he gets to move 1 unit. And so that 1 unit does its moving, shooting, and combat, and then we draw another dice. So by the end of 1 turn, we've moved through all 12 units. All 12 units have gone, but it makes it a little more random. So the dice could, decide how things go. You can get a bunch of one side in a row, or it can be pretty even. So instead of just he go, you go, it's like move, counter punch, a little more dynamic. So the order dice are different from Warhammer and stuff too. There's 6 different orders on a dice. You place the dice next to the unit that you just moved, like he ran his bazooka team up there. You got dice to put next to your tank. What'd you do with your tank? Did you run your tank?
I advanced, meaning I can...
You just advanced, okay. So advance is like just your normal movement.
Yep.
Like Warhammer 4 inches, in bolt action it's 6 inches. Run is just like, what was it? Was it charge in Warhammer? Just a double movement, so for tank it'd be 18 inches, for infantry it'd be 12 inches. And then there's rally, like if you're broken and you need to roll to rally. What else we got? There's down. Down is like they get in deep cover, makes them -2 to hit. So if they're stuck out of the open, exposed, you can order them down, makes them harder to hit.
There's ambush and fire.
And then where they fire, so if you advance a normal move, you can shoot with a -1. I think it was the same in 40k or Warhammer. And there's fire, you just stay put. And then ambush is they just kind of sit. Oh, go ahead.
So if I put my machine gun in ambush, I'd just sit there, and the second, I would just be looking at them, looking at the minis, like I was a mini, to see if they could see anyone. And the second, it could be after your turn, it could be before your turn, it could be the other person's turn. You can just say, oh, my guys are in ambush, and I can see guys, so they're going to shoot.
Right, so if your unit's in ambush, you can interrupt the turn at any point to do your shooting. Yeah, so there's 6 different orders. And you put your dice down next to the unit that just did its order to keep track. Alright, so one of Ari's squads just advanced through the hedgerow here, shot at my squad here. He rolled to hit, just like Warhammer, then he rolled to wound, just like Warhammer, and he hit 5 guys. Okay, so the fact that they got shot up means they put a pin marker on them. They have 1 pin on them, so that's a -1 to them as they take their morale test, which was what they call it in Warhammer leadership or something like that, right? So 10, and my morale was like 8 for regular troops with a -1, so I needed 7 less. So they just failed. So since they're below half strength and they failed, they're just gone. It's not like Warhammer where I have to move them to flee. They just skedaddle, they disappear into the brush. So Ari just took out 1 unit of mine. Alright, this squad just moved around this corner, and now it's shooting at Ari's squad that just shot at my squad. So machine gun gets 4 dice, the other 4 riflemen get to shoot. 4 better to hit,
Missed all of them.
4, and then 4 better to damage. What Warhammer would call wound.
Oh,
Wound ICT
3.
6s.
So that's 3. No armor saving throws like Warhammer. So Ari takes 3 guys out of the squad.
That's not